as a joke whatsoever. It just came across as you're potentially dying, stop being an attention whore. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And we're going to talk about the previous tweet with whatever out of nowhere that was completely tone deaf. But I remember after the plane ride from hell, the infamous thing
You,
with,
you were
you
not
know,
on this, were you? I asked you this.
I was on the plane ride from hell. Absolutely.
Then I've
I didn't
forgotten
see
your
any of
answer.
that stuff going on. I saw the Brock and Kurt thing happen and them slamming up against the exit door. Crash and myself were sitting to the right here, and the exit door was right there. And then the previous thing where Vince wanted to shoot with Kurt Angle in the aisleway up in first class. That all happened. But I want to say after all this, Rick stood in front of everybody at a talent meeting, either right after that when we landed or the week after that. It wasn't long after the incident to say he has a problem, he has an addiction, he's going to get help, he's going to get better. And I don't think any of that happened. I think he obviously was forced to make that apology at the talent meeting. And he was very emotional, as Rick tends to get. He was teary eyed, and it looked like he was very sincere about that. And after that, he was on his best behavior for just a little while. I don't know how long, but obviously he just goes right back to it. And maybe he's just the best worker in the business and he fakes the tears and he acts like he has some sort of contrition. But I don't know how long ago this was, but this mirrors the exact thing from the plane ride from hell, the Gary Juster's wife's birthday party. And I think it is the ultimate attention seeking that you just can't peel back and let a woman enjoy her birthday party, which, by the way, cannot be understated. These are civilians. These are not wrestling people. Gary Juster, even being in wrestling, is a production person. May have never been exposed to anything like this in his life.
Exposed is the
Yeah,
word.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you got to bring up the previous tweet, which I didn't even know was the same exact day. So is this dude on another bender and then he just tweets? So I tell you right now, Rick, just based on my experience over the past 9 to 12 months being off social media, it's the best feeling in the world. I suggest you try it.
Right. This wasn't just written. This was a Photoshop certificate, and I doubt he made it. So someone probably made it for him, and then he thought it was funny and posted it. But the thing is once again, you say tone deaf. So shortly beforehand, he also posted a mock contract called the Woo Compromise. Ironic, since Flair has found himself in some compromising positions over the years, I think you'll agree. Well done. By signing this compromise, both parties involved agreed to ride Space Mountain and engage in sexual relations on this night. This contract adheres to guidelines of informed consent, and both people in the relationship must be present and not in an intoxicated state before signing. No party should be pressured or persuaded into something that they do not want to do, and they reserve the right to terminate the contract if need be. This contract has the signed and sealed approval of the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who has taken many women for a ride on Space Mountain and has the utmost respect for women. Now, that's all well and good and amusing and stuff like that. If Ric Flair hadn't had a number of allegations put to him that sort of flies in the face of this joke certificate form contract kind of thing.
There's only one question I have about this one and the JR one. Why? Like, honestly, he cannot, like you said, he cannot just say, well, this person said this, fine, F them, whatever. He has to respond. Even Shawn Michaels, I remember I said it before. He stood in front of some TV or something. It was weird lighting in like a living room or, like a man cave. And he's talking like, Shawn Michaels, you think you're a Christian? You claim to be, like, he's burying the guy who idolized him. And he even had things to say about Triple H at one point, right? Who also idolized him. Shane McMahon, Shane Douglas was a fan of his. I'm telling you right now, and I told you the other day, or the other episode about the Ricky Steamboat agent clip. I watch Flair versus Steamboat matches whenever they come up in my feed on YouTube. Ric Flair is a lot of fun to watch. Ric Flair, but I'm telling you right now, every time this happens and I see a Ric Flair match or something wrestling wise, even when I was a fan of it way back in the day, I bypass it because I'm like, I just can't stomach to look at this guy sometimes.
With Rick as well, I mean, Arn Anderson used to be his best friend, and they fell out many years
Over
ago.
money. He said, yeah, basically Arn lent him money. This is the rumor. Nobody's ever counted it or anything. Owed him money. Rick owed Ron money, and then Rick turned around and said, I'm the reason you had a career, or you're lucky, or I'm not paying you back, or whatever." So that's what he does to friendships and marriages and any personal relationships. The people that do the most for this guy seemingly go into the crosshairs more than anybody. I'm sure JR has done a lot for Ric Flair as an office person, especially as a commentator, putting him over. And they were probably friends. I mean, I remember that real bad fiasco with the WWE 2K launch thing where they were up on stage. Remember?
Hmm. Yeah.
That was also embarrassing, you know. But
That
how
wasn't
many
Jim Ross's
times have,
fault. Yeah, he was the one who got canned. Wouldn't you believe it?
yeah, well, that's beside the point of anything. I know Jim took ownership of that as well. And Rick could learn a lesson from Jim about that kind of stuff. It's just at this point, he's Ric Flair. People are always going to book him. He's always going to be figured in. He's back in WWE, right? Didn't they sign him to a contract?
Flair, yeah, he was back in. He made an appearance on LFG recently, so yeah, I mean, I guess he's in a fairly well. Here's the thing: he was in the fairly good graces of WWE, I guess, in that point. But then he also made an appearance on AEW television recently in a tribute to Steve McMichael. So who knows? I think he might still be under AEW contract. Weirdly,
Well, the Steve McMichael thing is understandable, and they didn't do that really with WWE, and he was more of a WCW wrestler. Flair can appear, and Flair, I said before, it becomes more distant of a wish as these things happen. But Flair can be the ultimate ambassador to the sport, to the business, to every promotion, and make money without taking a bump. But this guy, once again, that last match, he said is not going to be his last match. So we're going to see Ric Flair also back in the ring again in the future.
like Rogaine on a pole or something like that, maybe.
It's incredibly disappointing to see this. And we did a clip of Bruno Sammartino and Ric Flair having their thing back, what, 2004. Who looks, you know, for people to bury Bruno, Bruno has always carried himself like a gentleman, and Bruno has always tried to stand by his ethics. And you can call Bruno somewhat of a mark for himself, but he took pride in what he did. This here is just scorched, used the term scorched earth before in a previous clip. Ric Flair feels the need to go scorched earth on everybody around him and including himself because he's only hurting himself in the end.
The tweets have since been deleted, would you believe? A lot of deleted tweets going on around the time. But Flair, anyway, responded yesterday. If you can't take a joke from a 76-year-old man, then you are living life too seriously. It was all harmless, light-hearted fun, just trying to make people laugh and smile. Okay, I don't know if that's in response to the Jim Ross thing or not, or the consent thing or not, but they've both gone, I think, now. But here's the thing, I mean, especially with the consent form, I did write this down. This is like Ric Flair talking about consent, you know, with like the Dark Side of the Ring allegations. There are other allegations out there as well. Shane Douglas has said this, he witnessed stuff in the bar that was absolutely out of order. And we're not just talking about flashing. He's said that on previous interviews. I mean, it'd be like Benoit talking about how to be a great husband. You know, it's like you are not the messenger for what is a good message. You are the worst messenger for it.
It's incredibly tone deaf, obviously. You know, outside of any allegations or anything like that, just to put that up in 2025 in any shape, form, or fashion. And like you said, someone else probably created it. Maybe Rick told him to create it, or they saw it and he thought it was great and put it up. But then for some reason, how does the tone change from that? And you're right. I'm looking at this joke. If you can't take a joke from a 76-year-old man, I don't think I think he is talking about that photo that he put up and not the JR thing.
Hmm.
So he's 100. Either you're joking in a really tone deaf way about JR, or you're still 100% serious that you think he's just seeking attention by talking about his cancer diagnosis and treatment. Which is it going to be? Either way, it sucks. It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand how he's seeking attention from just I've got colon cancer, and then the next message was going in for surgery. Then the next message is surgery successful. The photo of him. That's more or less what he's put out.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, JR is the least attention. See, he doesn't want to be bothered by anybody. He wants to be left alone. You could tell, and not in a crotchety way, but he's very much just like, I want to live my life. I'm done. You know what I mean? I want to do what I do, and I'm fine being doing what I'm doing on my own. I don't know, man. That's like me saying, "Wow, this is going to get a great amount of views. I'm so happy I got this spine infection." So am I an attention whore too, Rick? Because man, you talking about living a charmed life. This dude is. I don't get it. He just keeps getting opportunity upon opportunity, and he keeps telling people, "I want to destroy my opportunity you're giving me."
Yeah, I mean, a few years ago after he got through, what was he given 5-10% for that surgery, and a lot of it, I guess, was based on just how much he consumed over the years, why his body was in such horrible shape, and then he left off the alcohol for a while, and now he just went straight back on it again. It's like,
Well, in that last match vignette, him and David Crockett are on a boat drinking beers.
hmm
And then the Undertaker, because he didn't drink any water and part of it wasn't just dehydration, a lot of stuff. He passed out twice during the match. But Undertaker had to shove a Gatorade, into him to tell him drink this afterwards. So thank God. Who knows how bad he would have been if Undertaker didn't even make him drink some or all that Gatorade.
it was worse. He had a heart attack. He actually had a mild heart attack that they only found out afterwards, during the match.
And that was the time where he probably said, "Well, it's definitely not my last match." I mean, if this guy have we talked about before, does he have a death wish to die in the ring? Or that's beside the point. You try to have empathy and sympathy for another human being. You're trying to understand, not letting go when it comes down to the last match or whatever the last match is going to be. But this stuff, you can't be sympathetic or empathetic to a person like Ric Flair who has no sympathy or empathy for another human being. He is a narcissist. He's the absolute ultimate narcissist that he thinks because he would seek attention with that because he wants to stay relevant. And maybe, guess what? How many people are talking about Ric Flair right now? So he accomplished his mission, no matter how for negative or positive that it might be. People are now talking about Ric Flair, and I'm sure he was trending on social media.
I'm sure he was as well. Right, on that, we're going to leave it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This was the last of the 3 YouTube exclusive videos. The usual...
Can I say one thing?
Oh, yes.
Hey, Rick, I know I'm a jobber that never drew money. There, I already saved you your tweet.
There you go.
Haha.
In fairness, you're drawing money now, baby.
Well, I'm just saying it because that's his go-to for everybody is to marginalize.
Hey, put it this way: you're drawing more money than he is right now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You cannot, Ric Flair. You can never bury me more than I bury myself. You can never be harder on me than I am on myself. Trust me. Watch my full workout videos and comment below if you can, Rick.
And like and subscribe as well. It's good for the algorithm. Right. Okay, then. I don't know if we're going to post this today. We might actually post it tomorrow. So whichever day it is, Monday or Tuesday, if you see this, thank you for watching. The full episodes are running as normal every single Friday. So episode 49 is coming out this Friday, I believe. So that'll be Unforgiven Part 2, as well as a bunch of other stuff there as well. So once again, thank you for watching. We will catch you again for new run content this Friday.